Hey guys, Kelly Fisher here. Welcome to the Mind Power Library portion of my website. If you're watching this anywhere but my website, you can go to bestanxietysolution.com and I have a lot of free training there also. Very interesting thing happened to me the other day. And as I study how the mind works and always watch how my mind works, when I was putting together my anxiety solution program, I looked up a bunch of definition of anxiety, and they all had the word anxiety in the definition, which you just can't do. And I figured nobody really knows what anxiety is. And I made up this sliding scale of anxiety, and it's all by degree. That being said, even the Mayo Clinic said, while we don't know what anxiety is or where it comes from, yes, let me explain to you. They also said that anxiety is a normal part of life. It is not. Anxiety is not a normal part of life. And this experience that I went through is a prime example. Last week I sold my motorcycle. And the guy that came to pick up the motorcycle, he came with a truck because he didn't have his motorcycle license yet. And so the truck, the platform was literally 5 feet off the ground. So I drove my bike around. I stopped it. He pulled the ramp down. It's like a 30-foot ramp, 45-degree angle. I pulled my bike up to the back of the ramp, shut it off, and we got on one side of the bike, on each side of both of us did, and we started to push. The bike was turned off. We started to push the bike up the ramp a couple feet. I go, wait. Let's think about this. We're not going to be able to hold this 450-pound bike at the top of the ramp. It's going to tip over. Wait. Let's think this through. So I said, well, it's best to probably drive it up. So I got on the bike, turned it on, got the front wheel up on the ramp, and I was like this up on the ramp going, okay, wait a second. All of a sudden, my heart started pounding. Anxiety. My heart started pounding. My mind visually went to the bike at the top of the ramp falling over and crashing. And I was sitting there and I studied the mind my whole life. I know how anxiety works. And it was interesting to me because I could sit behind my thought process and look at it and go, my heart's pounding right now. Why would I visualize the bike falling over at the top of the ramp? That's a horrible visualization. I don't have anxiety. What's going on? I teach people how to get rid of anxiety. And I sat there and thought, oh, that's what the Mayo Clinic and everybody else thinks anxiety is. It's that my heart was racing. Fight or flight kicked in. There's mechanisms that kick in. And I realized at that point, what most people think anxiety is, of course it's by degree and there's extreme cases, but the misnomer of what people think anxiety is actually a safety mechanism. When I was on that ramp, all of a sudden my mind went, wait a second, fool, you better check this out. There is actual danger. When there's actual danger in your life, most people's fight or flight is imaginary. When there's actual physical danger, I could dump this bike, it's a safety mechanism. It's a great thing that my heart started racing and my mind visualized dumping it off the end. At first I thought, what a horrible thought. I'm in control of my thought process. Why would this happen to me? I teach how to get rid of anxiety. And then I sat there on the bike and I realized, oh, this is a safety mechanism, which is a good thing. So it took me, my heart was still racing. I took 5 or 6 small, just got the back wheel to the ramp. And it was so high, my heart was still racing. And I sat there, and the overall thing took like 25 minutes to get it up on this ramp. But I'm always aware of how I'm thinking, what's going on. So I was sitting there on the edge of the bike, on the edge of the ramp. And this woman pulled up in a car next to me. She goes, you look like Evel Knievel. I'm like, oh, great. I have an Evel Knievel tattoo on my arm with his autograph. And the guy buying my bike, he goes, well, I guess you got to do it now. I'm like, yeah, I guess I do have to. So I visualized going through the ramp up to the top, and I visualized 5 or 6 times. Like I said, this took 25 minutes to get up there. All of a sudden, I mean, I've been riding this bike for years and never rode it up a ramp before. And if I dumped it over, there goes the sail. I'm wrecking the bike. This 450-pound motorcycle might fall on my leg. This is a safety mechanism. It's a big difference than having anxiety. Anxiety is that being out of balance day after day after day, and that heart racing and the blood pumping to the extremities and the fight or flight. Anxiety is a whole different thing than a safety mechanism kicking into gear. And so after 25 minutes of, I got it up on the ramp once, gave it a little gas, and it stalled. I'm like, oh, shoot. So I brought it back down, and the guy buying the motorcycle and his wife was there, was like trying to come up with other ideas. I'm like, no, hold on. Let me just, I needed to visualize pulling up the ramp and getting it onto the back of the truck. It was a big empty truck. It was just a big empty truck and the ramp and me and my bike. And so after a few times, I thought, okay, I understand now. My mind did a safety check like, hey, dummy, wait a second. There's a good chance you could tip this off the edge of the ramp. Focus. It just teaches you, once you pay attention to how your mind works, it taught me to hyper focus, to slow my mind down to the speed I'm living, like I teach you guys. Great lesson. It took 25 minutes, half hour to do this. But it was a great lesson because I'm always hyper aware of how my mind works. And I thought, that's interesting. Why would I visualize that bike tipping over? So after 5, 6, 7 attempts just to get the back wheel on, all of a sudden I sat there and I visualized 2 or 3 times going up the ramp and pulling it into the back of the truck and just gave it gas and just went up the top. My heart was still pounding. I'm not going to lie to you. My heart, that fight or flight was still kicking in gear. But I visualized, my mind overcame, even though my heart rate was still racing, fight or flight, anxiety circle was still going. I visualized while the heart was pounding, hardest thing to do. I moved through the fight or flight while it was actually still going and visualized going up this ramp smoothly and putting the bike in the back of the truck. 3 or 4 times I visualized, gave it gas and rode it up there. Got it up there, heart was still pounding, we're yelling, cheering, screaming, like, like it was like I just jumped the Snake River Canyon, right? I mean, I've never driven up a ramp like that before in my life. It's a heavy motorcycle. When you're riding a motorcycle, it's easy to balance it. When you're sitting up on a ramp like this going, oh, shoot. So, moral to the story, real danger, real fight or flight, when it serves a purpose, it serves a purpose. It's going, hey, listen, wait a second. There could be real danger here. And when you pay attention to that, it's a big difference than being in anxiety all the time. So the difference is when you're going through anxiety, like I said, I have a whole training on how to get rid of anxiety when you have real anxiety. When the fight or flight kicks in and you have a negative visualization, analyze that. It's telling you something. The mind and the body are very, very intelligent and in tune, and it's telling you something. Pay attention to that. Like I said, I worked through it mentally while my heart was still racing for 25 minutes. Even when I got upstairs to sign the lease over, to sign the title over to him, my hand was still shaking when I was signing my name. It's no joke. Fight or flight is real. But the mind can overcome anything. While my heart was pounding, even after my heart was pounding, when I was trying to sign my name on the title, sign it over to him, fight or flight was still after effects. Still, oh, give me some water. I got to cool down. But my mind got, after that first visualization of falling off the ramp, I thought, interesting, what's going on here? I got in control mentally, even though the fight or flight circle, the heart rate was still elevated, even after the event. The mind is so strong. Learn to get in control of it. My Evel Knievel experience just woke me up to going, oh, there is real danger in the world sometimes. And then you have to analyze how real that is and how your mind is handling it. And pay attention to what your body's doing, why it's kicking into fight or flight. And then you can get over your anxiety and your fight or flight while it's happening. Go to my website, guys, bestanxietysolution.com. I have a lot of free training on how to get rid of anxiety and get back in control of your thought process. Thanks for playing along, guys. Namaste.